We're going we're going to start off with a land acknowledgement. Next slide, please. The County of Los Angeles recognizes that we occupy land originally and still inhabited and cared for by the Tongva, Tataviam, Serrano, Quiche, and Chumash peoples. We honor and pay respects to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of these lands and waters. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, disease, subjugation, slavery, relocation, broken promises, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. This acknowledgement demonstrates our responsibility and commitment to truth, healing, and reconciliation, and to elevating the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of Los Angeles County. We are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these ancestral lands. We are dedicated to growing and sustaining relationships with Native peoples and local tribal governments, including, in no particular order, the Fernandeño Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, Gabrielino Tongva Indians of California Tribal Council, Gabrielino Tongva San Gabriel Band of Mission Indians, Gabrieleño Band of Mission Indians, Quiche Nation, Yucavatiam of San Manuel Nation, San Fernando Band of Mission Indians, Coastal Band of Chumash Nation, Gabrielino Tongva Nation, Gabrielino Tongva Tribe. To learn more about the First Peoples of Los Angeles County, please visit the Los Angeles City County Native American Indian Commission website at lanic.lacounty.gov. Next slide, please. So just a little bit of housekeeping for today. This is a webinar format, so everyone can ask questions as our presenters provide information in the Q&A section of the Zoom. The chat feature will be turned off. This info session is being recorded, and we will post the recording on our website in the new year. If you have questions during this webinar, please go ahead and email communications@arts.lacounty.gov if there's something post-webinar you'd like answered, and we will make sure it gets to the appropriate agency representative. So thank you for your time. The next slide, I am thrilled to introduce Kristen Sakota. She is the director of the Los Angeles County Department of Arts and Culture.
Thank you, Angie. And thank you so much for everybody joining us today. At the LA County Department of Arts and Culture, we have a mission to advance arts, culture, and creativity. And our vision is that Los Angeles County as a region sees arts, culture, and creativity as vital to civic life for all of our people and communities. With that, we are really pleased to have a role to provide programs, funding, and resources to the cultural sector, especially through our core program areas, grants and professional development, led by Angie Gaspar Milanovic, who you just heard from, our work in arts education and youth development, our work in civic art, commissioning artists for civic art projects and maintaining the county civic art collection, as well as advancing cross-sector arts, research evaluation, communications, and more. But within all of that, we also know as a region, we can support by providing access to information and holding space to convene us together. So with that, we've been spending a fair bit of time over the last couple of years engaging on the forthcoming major events here in Los Angeles, where we will play home to major sporting events, including the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games, with its attendant Cultural Olympiad, as well as the 2026 World Cup, and so much more in between and beyond, as LA is not only an incredible bastion of arts and world creative hub, but also a place where sports is a major player in global activity, as well as the local sports teams and access for communities. So with all of that, we have been engaging. We've heard from many of you in convenings from our field, hosting over 10 roundtables, hearing from over 300 arts leaders and participants from grantees and other cultural organizations. We've also been engaging within the county and supporting on the county's working groups and the county's 88 for 28 convenings, where all 88 municipalities are brought together to explore topics related to the forthcoming World Cup and games. We've absolutely heard from so many in our field needs, but also opportunities ahead as we have these events coming. And we know that one of them is to have increased access to information about the games, about the events, and how arts and cultural organizations and others in our field can take advantage of them and participate. We also know there's a desire for increasing the visibility and the recognition of the breadth of arts and cultural organizations as well in Los Angeles County as part of our creativity, our identity, and our economy. And so, more support for marketing, events, and promotion of your organizations and your events is also part of why we're here today. So for today, I am pleased that we are bringing together speakers to give you an overview on the forthcoming World Cup in Los Angeles in 2026. And I want to share that while this is the exciting thing happening right now, we also see this as part of that longer line of major events and connecting to key goals for our region for arts and culture, thinking about how we can collectively create a legacy that will expand arts access and cultural participation for all of our communities across the Los Angeles County region, showcase and amplify LA's cultural diversity and our artistic and cultural heritage, strengthen our cultural sector and creative economy, and have those lasting benefits for our local communities, in addition to, of course, supporting tourism, international exchange, visitors that come to be here with us. So you are going to get to hear an overview of World Cup from our colleagues at the LA Sports and Entertainment Commission, which serves as the official host committee for the World Cup in Los Angeles. We will also hear from our partners at LA Tourism, who've been longstanding partners with us in providing access to the Discover LA web platform and calendar for all of our grantees to promote cultural events, and our friends from LA Metro, who will be sharing more about how all this work overlays with transit and what they're thinking about from Metro as well as the Metro Arts team. We also invited a few of our collective colleagues so that we can hear from arts organizations and municipal local arts agencies on how they plan to activate around the World Cup. Along the way, there will be opportunity for Q&A, as Angie mentioned, and there will actually be a hold in the agenda for time for Angie to moderate Q&A so that you can hear directly from the presenters. Before we get going, I just want to thank our key partners. I want to thank President of the LA Sports and Entertainment Commission, Kathy Schlesman, as well as President of LA Tourism Convention Board, Adam Burke. Metro, want to acknowledge their CEO, Stephanie Wiggins, and their entire team, and every one of them that is here with us today. They are the experts at what they are doing, and we're so pleased to have them sharing this information. Finally, I want to acknowledge that everything we do at the Department of Arts and Culture is led by and supported by the LA County Board of Supervisors. So thank you to them. And I believe we may have some of their arts deputies with us today. I believe Rachel Fox from Supervisor Horvath's office is here, among possibly others. And representatives of our LA County Arts Commission may be here. I believe Eric Eisenberg from the 4th District, and this year's President Randy Tahara of the 2nd District, Supervisor Mitchell's district. Finally, I have to thank my staff, so thank you so much to Angie, to Kristen Frederick, our Director of Communications, and our entire team, as they're the ones who do all the magic that make all of this happen. So for now, that's it. And I'm going to move on so we can get things started and hear from the first presenters. So Ellen Riotto from LA Sports and Entertainment Commission, Jason Crush, also from LA Sports and Entertainment Commission, and Bill Cars of LA Tourism. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you very much for welcoming our team for this conversation. And thank you for all your support as we prepare to host this incredible lineup of major events for Los Angeles. First off, or you can go ahead and go to the next slide. First off, I want to introduce myself, Jason Crutch, and I serve as the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. The Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, also known as LASEC, serves as the lead for the FIFA World Cup Los Angeles and the Super Bowl 61 host committees. Let me start by introducing LASEC quickly. 30 years ago, the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission was founded with the focus of attracting major events that deliver lasting community and economic impact for the Los Angeles region. Our team oversees the bidding process, fundraising, and fulfillment of these major events. Currently, as I mentioned, LASEC is focused on leading the 2026 FIFA World Cup and then also the Super Bowl 61 host committees. Next slide. Los Angeles is in the midst of a decade of major events like no other. Since 2021, major events in Los Angeles have already delivered more than $1 billion in $1 billion in economic and community impact. And the amazing thing is, we're just getting started. In February of 2026, we will welcome the 75th NBA All-Star Game for a record 7th time in the LA region and the first time at the new Intuit Dome in Inglewood. In June, we'll welcome the Women's U.S. Open of Golf to the Riviera Country Club for the first time, then straight into the FIFA World Cup next June and July. The following year, we'll host the Super Bowl in February of 2027, and then that leads us straight into the Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2028. We are literally the only city on planet Earth that will host the FIFA World Cup, the Super Bowl, and the Olympics in three consecutive years, possibly ever. Next slide. Now I'm going to spend a few minutes on FIFA World Cup, which is a huge focus for our team over the next 7 months. Today, we're 175 days away from hosting the U.S. men's national team opening match versus Paraguay at SoFi Stadium. This will be an opening ceremony moment for our country and one of 3 opening ceremonies for the tournament. The Mexican national team will open in Mexico City, the Canadian national team will open in Toronto, and we will have the USA right here in Los Angeles. Next slide. The 2026 edition of the FIFA World Cup will be the largest single sporting event in history. It's played across 3 countries for the first time, Canada, US, and Mexico, played in 16 host cities with 11 of those in the US. There'll be 48 competing countries, and the tournament will be 104 matches over 39 days next summer. All 104 matches will be broadcasted live on Fox in English and Telemundo in Spanish in the US, and there's distribution throughout FIFA's global rights holders in almost every country on this planet. For reference, the 2022 FIFA World Cup final was watched by more than 5 billion people. Next slide. Los Angeles will be one of the main host cities, playing host to 8 matches, including the U.S. men's national team opening and third match. All 8 of those matches will be played at SoFi Stadium, and earlier this month, we learned which countries will be playing their group stage matches right here in LA. Now we can officially say we're proud to welcome Belgium, Iran, New Zealand, Paraguay, Switzerland, the U.S. men's national team, and then we have 2 open spots, as you can see on that calendar, as we'll prepare to welcome the winner of the European playoff A and C winners. We'll learn who's coming from those playoff winners in March. But I can say we're really proud and excited to welcome this lineup of group stage matches to Los Angeles. Next slide. And then here's kind of a bigger picture. We also have some really exciting scenarios for the round of 32 matches. And so after the group stage, the teams that move on in the tournament, they start playing in the round of 32. You can see that full selection of groups on the screen. In LA, we'll welcome the runner-ups from Group A to play the runner-up Group B, and then we'll also have the winner of Group H to play the runner-up of Group J. So that just gives you a sense on some of the teams that are going to advance and the potential scenarios of who will continue to play in Los Angeles during that 39-day tournament. Next slide. Demand for the World Cup is expected and is starting to show it is being significant. FIFA is projecting more than 6 million people will attend matches across the 3 countries, and millions of people will be traveling to the US. Through the first 2 phases of ticket sales, more than 2 million tickets have been sold to fans from 212 countries and territories. Residents of the 3 host countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, in that order, drove the most purchases, followed by fans in England, Germany, Brazil, Colombia, Spain, Argentina, and France. The third phase of ticket sales opened on December 11th, and there were more than 5 million ticket requests in the first 24 hours. We're working on a plan to capitalize on that for Los Angeles. Next slide. Early projections for the World Cup show this tournament will deliver nearly 600 million in economic impact for the Los Angeles region and generate upwards of 230 million in media value to generate future tourism. Together, we have to make sure LA is ready to capitalize on this excitement. Next slide. In addition to the 8 matches that will be played right here at SoFi Stadium, leading up to the tournament, we are recognizing 26 community champion organizations, highlighting these local nonprofits that are using the game of soccer to positively impact the community. We'll be hosting Grow the Game of Soccer clinics, hosting community revitalization events, and making sure our local businesses compete for contracts through our Business Connect program. During the 39 days of the tournament, we'll be curating a 39-day fan engagement calendar, or 39 days of fan engagement across the Los Angeles region. This will include the official FIFA Fan Festival and official fan zones that will be taking place across the Los Angeles region. And then the full 39-day, or we will be announcing the full 39-day plan in late January. We're working closely with our partners at LA Tourism to curate what we're calling this 39-day fan engagement calendar, so fans can plan their trip around the FIFA Fan Festival, these official fan zones, and then all the community viewing events and all the World Cup related activities taking place across the Los Angeles region during those 39 days. I'm not going to speak on that too much because Ellen's going to go into that in more detail into her presentation. We're also working very closely with our partners at LAX and Metro to deliver a seamless fan arrival experience and transportation plans to all these official events around the region. So just a big thank you to everybody on the collaboration to make this a really successful event for us next summer. Next slide. As I mentioned, we're working very closely with LA Tourism to build this story around welcoming the world to Los Angeles to start their World Cup experience. We have this amazing opportunity for the global and national fan base to start here and really build around that opening celebration as we prepare to host the U.S. men's national team opening match and that opening ceremony moment for our country. I'm now going to pass it over to Bill Kars, LA Tourism's Senior Vice President of Brand and Digital Marketing, to talk through their plans on how they're promoting Los Angeles as the premier FIFA World Cup destination next summer.
Thank you, Jason. I'm Bill Kars, oversee our brand and digital marketing for LA Tourism. And as Jason mentioned, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to promote Los Angeles for the World Cup. And using this message of start your World Cup experience in LA, the team's been working on leveraging this foundational partnership with LASEC as the host committee to showcase the FIFA IP in all of the material that we're running. The next slide, please. Thank you. In terms of advertising, we've already started pushing the message of this Start Your World Cup experience in key placements within the US. We're beginning to push international as well, following the draw that happened on December 5, once we were understanding of which countries would be coming to LA, but not just to LA, but to nearby host cities as well, because our message is clear. We don't just want people that are coming to LA. We want people that come to LA that are going to other host cities and nearby as well. There's a lot of opportunity for us to get this message out there. And it's not just in English, it's a multilingual form of content as well. So the next slide shows just an example of some of the content that we're going to be running in some of these key markets overseas. And just in terms of this material is not just running through paid media, it's running through our PR efforts, our trade, as well as our own channels as well. And we'll talk a little about that later with Ellen in terms of our landing pages that we're doing in multilingual, as well as our events calendar that Ellen's going to speak to. The next slide just shows kind of an example of some of the advertising, even throughout LA, that's already been up there. We've been working closely with a variety of different artists to create content for us. Shelley Leopold's our creative director. She's tapped John Van Hemmersveld to create artwork for us with the World Cup in mind. And we've got digital screens now at the airport and multiple terminals with a countdown to the World Cup in place. And then the next slide is the opportunity in which we're working closely with an application called OneFootball. They have over 645 million monthly fans, where we're targeting particular fan bases on that message of start your FIFA World Cup experience in LA with video content in addition to static content We've already heard directly from the platform that we're seeing 3x engagement for Los Angeles specific content above their benchmark. This is an important opportunity that LA Tourism is capitalizing on for multiple markets that are not just those that are coming to LA, but those that are going to the nearby host cities like Seattle, San Francisco, Houston, and so on. We're also going to be running advertising in addition to OneFootball in particular markets like Australia, the UK, Mexico, and South Korea, which are key markets for LA tourism in terms of international draw from a visitation and spend standpoint. And then I think I'm passing it on next to Ellen.
Thank you, Bill. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much to Kristen and the whole team for inviting us for this presentation. My name is Ellen Riotto, and I'm the Director of Fan and Stakeholder Engagement. And so this is a really good opportunity for me to meet all of you. As part of our efforts here, and definitely part of my job, is to make sure that community stakeholders like yourselves have the tools that you need to activate around the World Cup. Jason at the top of the call mentioned, an economic impact analysis, and we want you all to have a piece of that as well, and open your doors to potentially new visitors, new users, new supporters of what you do. We've created a community activation toolkit, which I will be happy to share with you after this call. It has tools on how you can get involved, but I've pulled some key slides out here that I want to call your attention to. Next slide, please. The most popular form of activating that we've heard of to date is a viewing party. And I'm happy to say that FIFA launched their viewing party license portal just last week, Friday. It is now live. Links are included. There's some follow-up materials, I believe, that will be sent to you either in this chat or as an email follow-up, but I will make sure that you receive them. There's a lot of information regarding do's and don'ts on how to host a viewing party, but a couple of things that I think are important to call out for this group. FIFA has announced Fox and Telemundo as their official broadcasters of the matches, and you are required to procure a license from these broadcasters if you are generating revenue off of a viewing party and or the viewing party is for more than 1,000 spectators. If those things are not true, you don't need a license. And so there are a lot of communities and community organizations that are very interested in hosting a viewing party that don't plan to generate a revenue and that are under 1,000 spectators. And in those cases, no viewing license is required. I want to share that because I think a lot of smaller organizations and those that are community focused might fall into that category. And so that is great news. It's one less hurdle to jump through, to jump over if you're planning an activation that involves a viewing component. Next slide, please. The Community Activation Toolkit also has some ideas on how to get involved for bars and restaurants. We are recommending to optimize business hours, to create trivia nights, but really to make sure that you are reaching out to other bars and restaurants or other ground floor pedestrianized businesses that might be activating simultaneously, because a community activating together certainly draws more than a one-off activation. Next slide, please. For community organizations, we are suggesting, cultural celebrations, especially now that we know which teams are going to be playing, or most of the teams that are going to be playing in Los Angeles. We have a better idea of certainly the tourism aspect of the tournament next year. And so designing activations around cultural celebrations, decorating your neighborhood with soccer-themed art, and flags is always a good idea. Organizing storytelling or film nights featuring soccer documentaries, player stories, cultural shorts, hosting a language and cultural exchange meetup, starting a World Cup loyalty card program to reward shoppers or diners or visitors, collaborating, like I said, with other local businesses to create a World Cup market is an idea, creating a do-it-yourself fan gear kit for kids, and offering World Cup Next slide, please. So Bill mentioned the importance of our partnership with LA Tourism. It is certainly critical to our success in reaching visitors around the world. One way we're leveraging LA Tourism website, where World Cup activations are going to be featured. Next slide, please. Experience guide. So the host city, or excuse me, the host committee is responsible for populating the mobile app that FIFA is launching for the World Cup next year. There will be a section for each of the host cities, so we will be controlling the content that appears in Los Angeles section. And I will be compiling all of the community activations, the official activations into the Span Experience Guide. This is also out of our partnership with LA Tourism, so huge thank you to LA Tourism for helping us build out this resource. Starting tomorrow, actually, we event hosts will be able to submit their events to be featured in this guide. We'll share a one-pager on how to go about submitting your events. And it will be accessible from a number of different channels. I mentioned the official World Cup app, but also on the Los Angeles FWC 26 website, on the LA Tourism website, and on LASEC, in addition to a number of different channels. Users will be able to filter by activation type. They can view events as a list or on this larger map. And they'll be able to build out their itinerary for their World Cup experience in Los Angeles. So this is really a good tool if you are thinking of creating some kind of activation for your organization, making leverage all of these tools and resources that we have to make sure we're driving fans to all of what is happening or what will be happening in Los Angeles and the LA region. Next slide, please. And particularly as it relates to arts and culture, there are several ways that we are wanting to decorate the region, to really roll out the red carpet and make the FIFA World Cup very obvious in the public right of way. And there are a number of different avenues here. The image that you see on the left there is a sample image of street pole banners. So this is really geared towards cities. We are making images available to cities who want to install street pole banners throughout neighborhoods. But if you have a relationship with a council office or maybe a business improvement district that might want to employ some of these street pole banners, certainly share this deck once you receive the slides. Share that with your contacts. We also actually, in partnership with the Annenberg Foundation, launched last year a poster design contest, and you'll see this second image from the left is the winner of that poster design contest, and that can be made available to businesses and properties that want to display it. And then, artwork, murals, installations, creative, sidewalk crossings, etc., are all opportunities to really decorate our public rights of way. And that concludes my portion of the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to the three of you. We have time to just take a couple of the questions that were in the Q&A section. So I will read them out and let me know if any of the three of you can answer. So the first question is, the organization I work for is interested in becoming a fan group, i.e. an org that presents screenings of FIFA and Olympics to our audience. We were told we needed to submit an application to Supplier One in order to do this. Is that correct? And is there anything we need to do in addition to submitting an app to Supplier One? Oh, Ellen, you're on mute. Sorry.
Sorry about that. I'm not actually familiar with supplier one, but I am happy to look into this. And I see that it's an anonymous attendee. So if I can follow up directly, I would like to do that. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer on this call.
Okay, no worries. Thank you, Ellen. And for these questions, we may not be able to get through everything today. But if you can, for folks that have questions that we can't get to today, we will share the communications email afterwards, and then we'll be circulating the questions to the appropriate agencies that are represented. Another question here is for viewing parties, is a license required if we might get donations, i.e. there's not going to be an admission fee for our event?
Yeah, this is a really good question. So there's some gray area about what FIFA and the broadcasters are qualifying as revenue generating. What I will say is that if it is a less than 1,000 spectators and you are receiving donations, let's say to cover the cost of producing the event, then you do not require a license. If you are generating revenue and it's more than 1,000 people, then you do need a license.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. I'm also seeing some other questions in the chat related to funding opportunities, grant opportunities. I can go ahead and just answer that. On this call, we don't have any grant or funding opportunities that we'll be sharing at this time, but we did want to share all of the work that is underway so far. And so we will be, if there are opportunities, we will share them down the line. So I just wanted to give that blanket response. And another question, I don't know if it may be too technical. I see, Ellen, you're responding. Is there a ballpark price for licenses? Is that something you can respond to here, or can we direct
Yeah.
folks somewhere?
If I reply to the chat, does it show
It
for
goes,
everybody?
I believe so. It should show in the answered question.
Okay, I can speak to it too. So we do have some guidance, but I will say that I've been told each application will be assessed on an individual basis by FIFA and the broadcasters. But what I can share is that if it is less than 1,000 spectators, it's $1,000. 1 to 2,000 spectators will be $2,000. 2 to 5,000 spectators, $4,000. 10,000 spectators, $8,000, and more than 10,000 people will be $14,000. And that should appear in the answered question section as
It
well.
did.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ellen. I really want to thank our first presenters for all of this information. There are some links in the chat. And again, our office will be sharing a follow-up with recording, relevant links, etc., in the new year. So just want to make sure that everyone knows more information is forthcoming. And Kristen Friedrich, if you could go to the next slide, please. And we are very thrilled to welcome our next presenter, Zipporah Yamamoto. She's the Deputy Executive Officer in Arts and Community Enrichment at LA Metro. And Zipporah, I just wanted to say, unfortunately, we can't get the video to work, but we will share with everyone following the webinar. So Zipporah, we'll hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Angie, and thank you to the rest of the team at LA County Department of Arts and Culture. I'm joining today from the beautiful courtyard of Craft Contemporary, one of our partners, and right down the street from a station or new rail station that's currently under construction at Wilshire Fairfax. So it's an exciting time in LA. And Metro is really excited to be the official public transit provider for the World Cup. Next slide. So you got a preview of this earlier, who's playing in LA and what is the schedule like. This is the time frame that we're looking at for World Cup in Los Angeles. Next slide. And for transit, we are putting into place what we're calling the GET system, the World Cup Games Enhanced Transit Service. And I want to stress that this is really a team event with regional partners. We cannot do it alone. This is going to involve many, many, many operators, including LA Metro and many of our partners throughout Southern California, including charter buses. Next slide. So as part of our efforts for World Cup, we are also putting together a promotional campaign that will inform people about how they can take Metro to FIFA World Cup games, official World Cup fan zones, select transit first fan zones, and cultural hubs, neighborhoods, and destinations across Los Angeles. So we are working across our owned channels to do this, and also working with partners like LA Times, Eater LA, LAist, that are trusted sources for recommendations. And as part of this, and probably most exciting to the folks on the call, we'll be showcasing Metro as an arts and cultural connector that helps people explore the diversity and richness of our county. Next slide. So as part of this official partnership, we're collaborating on promotional efforts that are tied to World Cup milestones leading up to and through the tournament. And you can learn more about this at our World Cup landing page, and the URL is on the screen. That launched December 6th on the day of the draw. And we'll be announcing our park and ride lots and shuttle routes in coordination with a larger World Cup update on January 28th. So mark your calendars. And then more robust marketing and communications outreach will start at the 100 days go mark. Next slide. This gives you a preview of the Metro World Cup landing page, and you are welcome to go check it out and explore some more on your own. Mark your calendar with the days of more information, which will be added coming up soon. Next slide. And as part of our plans to prepare for the World Cup, we have proposed Union Station as a fan zone, which, if that does move forward, will include many activations. And you have a few concept examples here. Next slide. As well as station activations and official transit first fan zones, as well as immersive station takeovers, and potential community pop-ups throughout the county. And all of this is still in development. As you can see, there's a subject to change notice here, but this is what we are currently planning. Next slide. I know many of you on the call today are familiar with the Metro Art program, but for those of you who aren't, Metro has a robust public art program and cultural programming program. And I believe that the link to this video, which I'm currently working in the slideshow, but will be provided in the chat, and you can check it out. You can also see it by visiting metro.net/art. Our system is enormous. Our county is enormous. We currently have over 100 rail stations and over 12,000 bus stops throughout Los Angeles County. And all of those stations, as well as our fleet of rail and bus, include artworks. Next slide. And we've also partnered with Otis College of Art and Design to map arts and culture destinations countywide with transit info. So we're building a map that will include these destinations, as well as information about how to get there via Metro. And over the years, there have been many cultural asset mapping efforts in Los Angeles County, but they tend to be in specific areas within the county or around a specific focus. So this is really the first time the entire county will be mapped, and transit connectivity information to those destinations will be added to that map. So for all of you who are here who are arts organizations, think about this, because this is a potential opportunity for you for cross promotion to be featured on the map. And in return, to promote taking transit as part of the arts experience to get to your destination. So one of those messages that we're really looking at in preparation for the World Cup is extend your arts experience to the transit experience. Take Metro to your organizations and experience art along the way as part of your arts journey. Next slide. So for more information as this develops and as updates come through, this is how you can connect with us. Our website is here. You can sign up for our newsletter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We would love to connect. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Zipporah, for your presentation. I am just looking at some of the questions in the chat relating to Metro specifically. One question, what is the Metro definition of an arts and cultural destination? Gallery, restaurant, mural, all of the above?
Yeah, it's a great question and one that we really grappled with. We're really looking at destinations that people can go to experience the arts. So a physical place, and we are looking at places that are accessible by transit. Because this is the idea is you can take transit to get there.
Fantastic. And how do you submit a location for the Otis Metro map?
Well, sign up for our mailing list and we'll provide you with more information. We have lots and lots of destinations that we're currently looking at right now. We want to make sure yours are included. So please sign up and we'll share more information about how you can be part of it.
Thank you. And one more question. Hearing about Metro Arts makes me curious as to how it will be easy to get people outside of the city, but still in the county. For example, we're an arts organization in Santa Clarita, so it makes the traffic from the city that, a little bit more challenging.
Yes, 100%. And that's the idea with the map. LA is a really big place. And for visitors who are coming here, as we all know, it can be hard to find your way without a guide. So the idea is we really want to provide that transit information so for our locals, but also for people who are coming in from out of the area so they can find their way and experience all that LA has to offer.
Thank you. And I have just two more questions. I think we're good on time. Activation sites. It seems there are currently no areas in the San Fernando Valley included. Is this because this is still in process or any other information you can share?
This list is still in process.
Thank you. And a message from the Alliance for California Traditional Arts. They have cultural asset mapping data from their projects in Boyle Heights and the Antelope Valley, in case there might be some useful partnership there. So we can connect you following this call.
We would love that. Thank you so much.
Okay, and sorry, one more as they're coming in. How do people sign up to be on the Metro mailing list?
Go to metro.net/art.
Fantastic. And I do just want to address questions have come up in this Q&A about ICE raids this year, cultural human rights, how this can be addressed. I think all of the agencies on this call, our agency included, we want to make sure that folks are feeling safe and welcome at all of the events that take place in LA County. We are going to share some information, though, in the chat from the LA County Office of Immigrant Affairs. They've been doing regular Know Your Rights sessions, as well as offering other additional resources in various languages. So we'll put that in the chat and have that resource as well. We know it's been such a difficult year, not just in Los Angeles County, but throughout the country. And we want to make sure that those resources are shared as well. Thank you, Zipporah, for your presentation. We are going to move on to our next group of speakers. And our first speaker is Leticia Ree Buckley. She's the CEO of La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. She is also a commissioner for the Supervisorial First District, Supervisor Hilda Solis. Leticia, are you with us?
Sí, señorita. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. I do not have an official presentation. I'm just going to share with you what we're doing here at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. It's so nice to be joining you all, and even just seeing some of the questions popping up, seeing many friends and colleagues. So just a quick, La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, for those of you that don't know, is a cultural center and museum located here in El Pueblo Historical Monument District, so across the street from Olvera Street, in the vibrant heart of downtown Los Angeles. And we are committed to honoring and celebrating the enduring legacy and the resilient spirit of Mexicans, Mexican Americans, and all Latinos in Los Angeles. And I will just say, these events are an opportunity, but not the goal, pun intended. And, you know, La Plaza, like many of our colleagues, many of you here, are doing programming regardless, whether games or not would be happening. And so our aim is really to just ensure that we continue to serve our community while we welcome visitors from across the world. We're also, just a note, extremely mindful of the current atmosphere, especially for us here as a culturally rooted institution. And we have in place a pretty robust safety plan. Unfortunately, it's the reality of what we're facing, and we expect that we'll have to continue to reinforce that as we get closer to the World Cup. But this is work that we do regardless of whether there be games or not. So we're just, for us in many ways, what we're looking at is this is an opportunity to leverage. I will share, pardon me, that the way La Plaza is participating in this, in the World Cup specifically, is in partnership with the Consul General of Mexico in Los Angeles. We're looking at a partnership to be able to be a space for viewing parties. We have a secure location. We do events here all the time, over 100 plus, and so we anticipate that we will have viewing watch parties. We're looking at creating some sort of a hospitality suite and potentially a media location. And really ultimately just leveraging our regular programming. So over the course of 6 weeks from that time period, that we will be doing our regular programming that we would do no matter what. So our Summer of Salsa, our Pláticas y Pruebas, our cooking classes, all of those things will continue to happen. And what we're doing is just wanting to ensure that we are falling into the thematically. There are a couple of other interesting partnerships that we're looking at that I can't officially announce yet. I'll come in January, we'll be able to. But I think the most important message that I can share as an organization, right? I'm not an agency, but an actual cultural organization in Los Angeles, and recognizing that we have a space and that is privilege, is also how we can partner with other organizations. And really, we're going to activate no matter what, inviting community partners to join us in activation. So, you know, I encourage any of you, if, you know, to connect, because we have the space. We're going to be doing programming no matter what, and we'd love to be able to partner with folks to do it. And I think that's probably one of the most effective ways to be able to get more of us involved in what's happening. And again, recognizing that these things are going to be happening around us, how do we ensure that we are actually centering our communities and all of that? So if I leave you with anything, it's just that I invite you to please, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to organizations like La Plaza or others that might be in your specific area, to be able to partner, to be able to leverage each other's programming that might be going on, or space.
Thank you so much, Leticia. Who should organizations reach out to at La Plaza?
You can reach out to me. My email, I can type my answer right now. I'll type my email, and I see Alessandra's email or question about the kinds of activations that we're looking for, and reach out and we can talk about that. But we do a whole bunch of different things, whether it's, you know, community partners being on site to do engagement. If it's ways in which we could tap into some of the exhibition space, if it's a panel conversation, we're thinking about that are themed around soccer. The one thing I should mention is that next year is also our quinceañera. So we will be celebrating our 15-year anniversary. So how do we combine those two? But I invite folks to not hesitate to reach out, and, you know, let's explore what's possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is, next slide, please, is Daniel Tarica, General Manager of the Department of Cultural Affairs, City of Los Angeles. Welcome, Daniel. What news do you have to share from DCA?
Well, thank you so much, Angie, and thank you to you all at the Department of Arts and Culture for hosting this important discussion. It's been really wonderful to be here, and as we look ahead to celebrating our city and region's vibrant communities, particularly with the FIFA World Cup coming to LA this summer. To start, I just wanted to share out a little bit about the mayor's commitment to arts and culture. So Mayor Bass has made clear through her Executive Directive 16 and her Games for All vision that arts and culture are essential to how Los Angeles shows up on the world stage. So for us, these guiding directives commit the city to ensuring that major global events, including the FIFA World Cup, create opportunities for connection and creativity and cultural celebration. So as we prepare for the World Cup, the mayor's vision is for arts and culture to be front and center in our community celebrations. And we want those events to help uplift our local talent, highlight cultural diversity, and ensure and engage Angelinos of all ages. So we're currently in the planning stages for the World Cup related to the community celebrations and viewing parties, which will be occurring across all 15 council districts for the city. We're also in conversations on potential fan zone collaborations. While we are still not quite at the point where we can discuss specific locations or partnerships today, we're closely coordinating across our fellow city departments and are also looking forward to partnering with many of you that are here today. And our plan is for these celebrations to include youth arts activation activities, live performances, and opportunities for residents and visitors to come together through creativity and culture during the World Cup. And we're committed to ensuring that these gatherings feel inclusive, welcoming, and reflective of LA's artistic spirit. We also want to make sure that they're safe, as that has been raised as well, and open to all. So more information, we'll be able to share more information as our planning progresses. And we're really looking forward to working with all of you as we continue building.
Thank you so much, Daniel. So folks should sign up for DCA's newsletter. Is there a web page they should be checking out, or make sure they're getting your newsletter for the most up to date?
Absolutely, make sure you're getting our newsletter, and I will we'll also share our newsletter, our webpage for the cultural program, of which that will have a lot of the information of how we're activating around the cultural program for the games, but also those same values and goals will hold for the World Cup as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Daniel. And folks are asking about email contact for you. We will circle back with contact information. The best folks to reach out to at the agencies that have been represented here today. So thanks, Daniel. Our next presenter. Next slide is Tyler Bonanno Curley, Deputy City Manager with the City of Long Beach. Tyler, are you here?
I sure am.
Hi, and I will
Yeah.
rename you right now.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to speak a little bit about what the City of Long Beach is doing to prepare, partly for 2028, but also using 2026 and the World Cup as an example or a test case, and finding ways to activate our community and work with community partners. So we, from an arts and culture standpoint, actually, we set up a community advisory committee for our 2028 games planning, which includes a focus area around arts and culture. And so we have a number of leads in the city and the community that are helping to identify different priorities that we want to work towards for the games planning and incorporate arts and culture across a lot of the different activations that we're doing. So they're a really integral partner for the city to make sure that we're headed in the right direction and that we are focused on the right things. Since as a city, we don't have a cultural affairs department at this point. We don't have experts necessarily in the city for arts and culture, but we do have special events planning. We have other kind of operations that might help to activate the city, and we want to partner with community in that way. So for next year in World Cup, we're really seeing that as a good test case to get prepared and to find new opportunities for those community partnerships and to activate space. So we are looking to activate, especially in downtown. We want to close off a number of streets and essentially do what we call beach streets, which is an open streets concept where we encourage people to bike, multimodal kind of accessibility, and have a watch party aspect to that. So we'll have a big screen. We'll encourage people to come down and watch the matches, and then also we'll be connecting from our Pine Avenue over to Lincoln Park, where we can do some youth sports soccer activations at the same time. So it'll be kind of a beach streets plus from what we've done before, especially adding in the sports components. And then there will be space, and this is where we'll work with community partners to activate more, bring in more arts and culture, whether it's performances on a stage or we in the past have done live art with our arts council partners and others. So we would be thinking about ways to incorporate those aspects into the open streets concept as well. And beyond that, we also are working to purchase a large transportable screen that we can use in other parts of the city. And so we're going to be developing essentially a plan where we can bring the watch parties out into the community more, into different park spaces, and then have mini activations around those as well. So hopefully we can get at least a handful of these watch parties plus the big kind of open streets concept happening throughout different stages of the World Cup. And then, like I said, we're hoping to use that as a model for what we'll do in 2028 and finding different ways to activate our entire community so that we can bring the excitement of the games to the rest of the city and not just the area where we'll have the games. So that's kind of a snapshot of what we're working on and planning over the next 7 months or so for the World Cup. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, or if folks are interested in kind of learning more about what we're doing here in Long Beach, I'd be happy to meet with people and have side conversations as well.
Tyler, thank you so much for your update. I am just looking in the chat. I'm not seeing any specific Long Beach questions right now. So we will move on to our presenter from West Hollywood, our colleague Rebecca Eaman, Arts Manager for the City of West Hollywood. Rebecca, we're so glad you're here, and we will queue up your presentation.
All right, prepare to be underwhelmed by this presentation.
There's no way that's possible. Okay, sorry.
My name is Becca Eaman. I am the Arts Manager for the City of West Hollywood. Thank you, LA County Arts and Culture Department, for putting this together and inviting us to share what we're up to regarding the FIFA World Cup. The City of West Hollywood earlier this year adopted a 3-year creative plan. And within the 3-year creative plan, we have some kind of stepping stones to get us to the 2028 games. And part of that 3-year creative plan was we have an overarching theme, and it's called Inventing Traditions. So you'll hear a lot more of that over the next few years. Next year for World Cup, that's our first stepping stone to get us to the games, is we plan to host a fan zone. As everybody. Our fan zone won't be like everybody else's. It'll be in the West Hollywood way. So we will have a multi-use space that will serve many functions throughout the time of the World Cup. We're planning a kind of a mini fan zone in Plummer Park, if you're familiar with the city. And then we have our kind of major fan zone that will happen in West Hollywood Park. We're planning for the last 2 weekends in June. And our thought is that if we build it, we might as well program it. So we're going to, aside from just watch parties, we'll have wellness classes, sports classes. We'll provide a space for youth and family to do arts and culture activities, sporting activities. At night, it will turn into a social lounge for folks in our community to hang out. And of course, we're very focused on partnering with our local businesses that surround all of these parks and in our tiny small city. And then we're hoping to have a merch tent, all of the things. One of the highlights in our creative plan, which is the one that I'm excited to share with you today, is the arts programming. And we are going to present a project called Disco Foot. And I'm curious if the video will work. It might work. Okay, amazing. So the video is silent intentionally, so I can talk over it. Disco Foot is a perfect blend of choreography, dance culture, music, sport, and of course, in the West Hollywood way, it includes disco balls, a live DJ, professional dancers, and tiny gold shorts. It is going to be a spectacular performance, and this will be presented in the center of our fan zone when they're in times where there are not significant games going on, so we're not conflicting with anything. We're planning to present this project 4 times in the course of the weekend, and we're focused on the weekend of the 26th through the 28th. So if you're interested in coming to experience Disco Foot, save the dates. We're also going to do a call to dancers in the new year. We'll be looking for 20 to 24 local professional dancers of all sorts. We want all backgrounds, all types of dance. Our choreographers are international. They're coming in from France to help us present Disco Foot. We're very excited. So that's our big plan for World Cup. And we hope that you all come join us in WeHo to celebrate.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becca. We so appreciate hearing kind of all of this information from all of the agencies on how folks are planning to welcome the World Cup to Los Angeles. We have some time now for some Q&A, and let me see there's a question here for Tyler. Will arts organizations in Long Beach need a permit to activate Present at a Park where the city is presenting a fan zone screening? Tyler, are you still here with us? If you could unmute yourself. Okay, we will move on to some other questions. This is let's see, for Becca, Nathan Shreve Moon, we'd love to talk to you more about Disco Foot from Nathan at LA Dance Project. Nathan, if you want to send in a private message or email, happy to connect you with Becca. Also for Becca, will there be an opportunity for tabling at any of these community events? We are a queer nonprofit.
Great question, and I don't have an answer for you. So if you email me with your contact information for your organization, I'd be happy to connect you with the right people.
Thank you. I mean, a lot of this, there will be a lot more to share in the new year as well. And I encourage folks, if you're not signed up to get newsletters from each of these municipalities, agencies, to go ahead and do that so that you can be the first to know about information. Let's see. There's a question about fan zones. So this may be for Ellen. Are the fan zones run by FIFA?
Yeah, great question. No, the host committee, are taking the lead on the Fan Fest at the Coliseum, and then the subsequent fan zones that will be activated throughout the county are in partnership with the venues themselves. So we issued an RFP back in August, and we just issued contracts out to those venues last week. We are hoping to finalize all of those contracts as soon as possible. Before the new year would be great, but probably early January is most likely. And then we'll be announcing the locations of those fan zones at the end of January.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ellen. There is a question here. Bellatini, artist liaison for Friends Over Followers, representing artists, musicians, DJs, and more in Northeast Los Angeles. How can we ensure that local artists and businesses don't get left out? And where can we go to apply for service? I know that we've shared a lot of resources here today, and we will send an email with all of the links and ways to continue connecting. The purpose of today's program was also just to share what is in the works right now, and there will be more to share come 2026. So I think the best thing now is to just make sure that you're connected to various agencies, newsletters, opportunities, so that you get that information. And I will open it up if anybody wants to share anything else regarding this topic. Okay, and one more question. It's an anonymous question. I'm not hearing a specific goal to hire, pay at least 100 or 200 or 300 artists across the region to showcase cultural presentations. Is there a goal? Who will be counting the total? I think that hopefully you've heard from the presentations today is that there are myriad agencies working on different opportunities. And so it's not one consolidated place where you can find all of the artist opportunities. That was part of the reason we did this and organized this webinar, was to just share which agencies are currently involved, how to share if you're an arts and culture organization and have events coming up, how to share that. So this is really more about resource and information. In terms of data collection, I'm not aware of any region-wide opportunity currently, but if there is something later, we of course will share that info. Let's see, I think that this covers the questions. Okay, Disco Foot is getting lots of love in the Q&A, so Becca will make sure that DanceWorks and others that are interested connect with you. Kristen Sakota, if you would like to come back on and we can close out this session today. So just as a reminder, in early 2026, we'll be sharing a recording of this info session. If you have other questions that you'd like answered, please go ahead, email communications@arts.lacounty.gov. We will combine and compile everything, share it with their respective agencies. Kristen.
Thank you so much. I just really want to thank and extend a lot of gratitude for each of our presenters, both for coming here today to share the wealth of information because there's so much activity going on, but also for what each of them is doing to support and encourage activations, as well as to specifically provide pathways for folks in arts and culture that might want to get involved and to share examples of ways that folks are doing that. So I really appreciate that. And if you are interested in taking action on any of the information that was provided today, please do look out for the recording of this webinar, as well as the slides and the links and information that will be provided. If you are a current arts organization grantee of LA County Department of Arts and Culture, you likely already know how to submit your events to the LA Tourism Discover LA calendar, as that is encouraged and information has been provided to all grantees, so you have that access. But for those who perhaps are not grantees, we'll make sure that that link and that information is included here. And we look forward to engaging with you. I just want to echo something that my colleague Leticia expressed, which is essentially that, we all are engaged in the field of arts and culture, and having events we know are more than just an event. And so for us, this is really about how we can support your organizations, how we can engage our local communities, including in safe spaces where they can feel that it is reflective of their interests and their communities, as well as capturing the excitement that tourists and folks coming from around California, around Southern California, around the country, or around the world as we move through this. So thank you so much for attending today, and we look forward to continuing the conversation. And be well, everybody, in terms of happy holidays. Thank you. Thanks to my team, Angie, for moderating. Woo! Big ups to you as well. Thank you.